John Sewell, Engearment.com podcast. It is the beginning of June 2023, beginning of summer for a lot of people. And it's been a month and a half, maybe 2 months since the last podcast. A lot has happened in that time and a lot to look forward to in the summer and fall. Just a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to try and catch up to speed. I'm going to let you know what the writers are up to, what I've been up to. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's just jump right into this. So I just got done doing an interview with YouTube, actually a live stream product testing for something they're going to be putting together in the near future. I can't tell you much about it. It's a cool thing that people might use to help other people. That's all I can tell you. But it was really fun to be part of that, and I think I might be going out to LA to meet with YouTube in person in July next month and work on more detail on developing their product, which is quite an honor considering you're probably watching this or listening to this on YouTube. So that was really exciting. Other things we have coming up that you can be part of if you want to. StrongFirst. We're hosting at our gym Existence Athletics here next month in July. We'll have a kettlebell, bodyweight, and barbell fundamentals course taught by my friend Annalisa and Maggie Burrows. They'll be here in Denver at our gym, and I'll be part of that as well. So it'll be a great chance if you are in somewhere in the Colorado area or middle of America, or just want to come to Denver. It's a beautiful place to visit, and take intro courses to those that would then lead into further education if you'd like to. At the very least, it's a great place to start so you can move safely and move effectively. And then in August, my man Doc Hartle, who's been on the podcast several times, will be hosting the official SFL, the StrongFirst Lifter Certification, which is a barbell certification in August. And then in October, I get to go to Phoenix to work with Pavel and Brett Jones and Fabio Zonin and Hector Gutierrez for the Teachers of Strength, which is where the Master StrongFirst instructors meet up to go through best practices for education, as well as recertifications and such. And then that weekend will be a programming weekend, and I'll be doing the audio video for the international seminar, and it's gonna be a whole lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Outside of StrongFirst, outside of fitness, this week we have the first ever big gear show here in Denver, Colorado. It's also a really big e-bike convention. It's interesting because usually we do Outdoor Retailer here in Denver around this time, which is of course the biggest outdoor gear media event of the year. But they moved that back to Utah, and it's not being very well attended anymore. So the big gear show popped up to keep people here in Denver because it's just a great place to be. And then so we will be there. Devin, Michael, and myself will be there this week. I guess tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow and Friday and Saturday, doing interviews with companies. So stay tuned. We'll have a lot of content and interviews with cool companies. It's gonna be a little bit different because it being so much half e-bike and half outdoor recreation and stuff. We have meetings with Suto and LifeStraw and Chacos and like a bunch. So a lot to look forward to. We'll have that up on our channel, of course. And then about a month from now, we'll have what was my favorite of the interviews is the Outdoor Media Alliance or Outdoor Market Alliance, OMA, whatever it stands for. That we will have like 40 meetings back to back to back. I'm talking Thermarest, MSR, Gregory backpacks, KUHL, La Sportiva, Scarpa, Gore-Tex, like everything. All the things you like are excited about, we are going to do in a big, big way in July. So stay tuned for that. My gosh, there's so much to catch you up on, and you can tell I'm pretty jazzed. I was going to shoot this podcast last week, as I would have had a captive audience. I had to take off some time. I had a really big, to me, a big surgery that I've been putting off for over a decade to deal with some debilitating arthritis. So 3 months ago, I broke my foot, ran into the kitchen table full force and just shattered the foot. And then when I got the x-rays, they noticed the foot was broken, of course, and I'm still dealing with that. But they noticed there was just a ton of broken bones that shouldn't be there, not from that incident, but from a decade plus of really hard use. I mean, imagine what we do, backcountry splitboarding and hiking and just bushwhacking and just, messing things up kicking rocks on accident and stuff like that. Just years of damage caused hallux rigidus, which is a crazy situation with arthritis where the big toe doesn't move because it's just surrounded by inflamed tissue and bone fragments that I was not born with. It's just bone on bone action, creating new bones out of the dust and making basically a door stopper so my toe cannot move. And then on top of that, found out I have gout. And so I've been having gout attacks kind of frequently from amount of stress and pain. So I've got the arthritis, a broken foot, possible bone infection, I'll know from the biopsies next week, as well as gout, which is just in itself a debilitating disease that's just, if you have gout or you know somebody has gout, you know it's just awful. And not diet-induced, it's hereditary. I'm a very healthy person, drink a lot of fluids, but no amount of fluids apparently is enough to disintegrate the levels of uric acid in the blood to get to a safe point. So take a real quick breath and get a drink of water. Good stuff. Okay, so I had a surgery last week to deal with that, and I was super excited to get the surgery done, but also I was excited to create some content and be in the studio and be like, all right, I'm laid up and I can't go anywhere and coach in public and interact in public. So I'll just do the podcast and catch up on stuff, and then now I actually got bronchitis and then had a gout attack and then went into surgery. So I was like, it took a bit out of me, but now I'm back and first day at PT today, and things are going well. I'm getting range of motion in the toe because they removed. Well, the surgeon was so amazed with how much stuff was in between the toe joint. He took pictures with his own cell phone and he sent them to me. Now we're buddies, and he's sharing with all his colleagues because it was pretty remarkable. It took 1 inch wide by 1/2 inch deep out of my big toe of damaged tissue. That's remarkable. So anyways, got that dealt with, and got my voice back as of today. Did the interview with YouTube to go through their new product that I can't tell you about yet. And then I figure while I'm in front of the camera and the lights are on, the audio's going, I'll just do the podcast and catch you up. So we covered what we're working on in the future, the big outdoor media events, what to look forward to on the channel. Well, what have we done since I'm not even going to go back as far as the last podcast. I'll just try and start beginning of May, a month ago. Rumple Puffy Blankets, they sent over a new design, did their video on it, and then Devin Michael now has it, she's doing the written review on it. We had an Engearment podcast with Will Rickards, interview on why he decided to bike from his home in East Denver all the way to the top of Mount Evans, which is a 14,000 foot plus peak. It's a 120 mile bike ride. He talks about the why and the equipment he used for that. Tread Labs, which is the guy who founded Chacos, left Chacos, started this company, Tread Labs. We have a sandal review on them. Cool. We did a lot of work with Cool in the last couple months. The new suppressor shorts, I'm actually wearing them right now. They're fantastic. BOTE Zeppelin Aero 10 foot. This was fun because they sent over the BOTE, BOTE Zeppelin, the bigger version, about a year ago to Andrew Piotrowski out on the East Coast, and he loved it. Him and his wife and kiddo, it's great. He's our East Coast stand-up paddleboard and kayak guru. But we wanted to have one here in Denver because we have a lot of riders who enjoy stand-up paddleboarding and kayaking. So they sent one over, and Devin Michael took it out onto the Cherry Creek Reservoir and shot a nice fun video. And then we have other riders testing it out right now. Luke Cunningham and Damian Marley and other friends are out testing it, and we'll have a detailed review once I can clear to get on water. I got a pretty big incision. I can't get wet right now. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. Then Thermarest sent over their brand new Neo Air X-Lite NXT. They sent over two actually. I'm testing one. I have a video up on that. And then our newest, is our newest? At least our second newest rider, Joe Triscari, who's a really badass splitboarder, just next level splitboarder. He's doing some winter camping with that, so we'll have a review on that from like a winter camping, splitboarding mission, backpacking trip kind of feedback. And then KUIU Pro Brush Pant from Luke Cunningham. He's our resident bow hunter, big KUIU fan, and I love KUIU too, but they definitely want to present the more bow hunting and hunting angle, and Luke is the person for that. So he has a video on that. Black Diamond sent over their Pursuit 30-liter backpack. It's their new ultralight, I don't want to call it trail running specific, but like real light and fast kind of approach, 30-liter backpack. It's minimalist in some ways. It's just really skinny straps, but really attractive and carries the weight really, really well. I also got that review up. Gordini out of Europe, their Pace Flow hoodie, which really when it came in, I was really confused because it looks like giant chunks of the hoodie are missing, and they are. It's active insulation that removes the insulation to be active and breathe. It was confusing to me how to use it, and so I had to actually reshoot the video because the first time I was using it for the first few weeks, I was super confused. And then our man, Will Rickards, who is just the resident ultralight backpacking guru, showed me how to use it as a layering piece more effectively than I was using it. So as a mid layer and then putting a wind shell in front of it, it's superb. It's lightweight and very breathable. And then if you need to dump heat, you just open the jacket, and then you have all the garment dumping heat while still giving you the tactile sensation of warmth. It's interesting. It's pretty cool stuff. And then a new camera came out from Sony. I've been testing the heck out of it. The Sony ZV-E1, which takes basically the guts of the FX3 or the Sony A7S III, which are really go-to video kind of specific cameras that take photos too, but very video specific and driven. I mean, Cody Townsend and his crew uses that for the 50. It's a great camera. A lot of YouTubers and pros use that. I've been using the A7 IV, the A7R 5, this guy right here, and then here is the ZV-E1, this guy right here. So it's even smaller than the A7 IV and A7R 5, which are great cameras, take great video and great audio, but this guy is just so awesome. I could put a little small 15mm lens on here and just run and gun and get the same video quality as Cody Townsend and Netflix and all the, all the pros using stuff. So I've been testing that guy out in different situations, different microphones. Oh yeah, we've been testing a lot of microphones. But anyways, got a video up on that and how that works. I'm gonna skip over a few. Heme Planet Kira tent. This is from Germany. It's a prototype. I'm actually gonna send it on to a, Backpacker magazine or Outside magazine next so they can test it. It is an air beam style tent. So you pump it up with basically a bike pump, and it just erects air beams and creates a tent. It's really attractive. Really cool setup, but got the review up on that. The Gregory Denali 100-liter backpack. Jay Irwin, who is just awesome stud, he's testing out the Gregory Denali on Denali, like Mount Denali, and he has a preview video on how it works up, and you definitely got to check out Jay Irwin. Him and his team are setting a Guinness Book of World Records as well as fastest known time for the 50 highest peaks in North America, and they're doing it to raise awareness for kidney transplants. He himself donated a kidney to a person. I believe the story was he was caught in an avalanche, and the person who rescued him saved his life, obviously, but also was in need of a kidney. And Jay and the person who saved his life were a match, and so Jay gave him a kidney. A miraculous story. We're going to have Jay on the podcast to discuss that in more detail about that. And then what he's done now, and I've got goosebumps talking about this, is he's part of this nonprofit fundraiser where two other people who've done kidney transplant situations are raising awareness that you can still do amazing things with one kidney. So him and his team are setting the Guinness Book of World Records currently for those peaks. I believe he just did Hawaii's highest peak, which is actually the highest mountain in the world. If you think about the base of it, that's a whole other topic. Won't go down that. But yeah, check out Jay Irwin. Really good stuff. Woobin X2 flashlight. This thing was just bonkers. It's like 2,500 lumen flashlight they sent over. It's this Chinese company. I had never heard of them, but apparently they make most flashlights. Like most of the flashlights you use are made by them. And yeah, it was bright as hell. It was lit up the sky for sure. Got a video on that. Oh, Patagonia. Usually I lead with Patagonia, right? But we did a lot of stuff with Patagonia the last several months. The new Black Hole 25-liter backpack. So I think it was 3 or 4 months ago that Drew Thayer and I met with Corey Simpson of Patagonia and did a fun private little tour of the fall 23, spring 24 gear for Patagonia. And there's so many cool things in that lineup, and we've had the chance, and I'll tell you more in a minute, to work with them on testing out a lot of their stuff for the fall 23 lineup. It's also their 50th anniversary. Really cool stuff. I just love what Patagonia does and what they do for the world, really. And they make really attractive, durable, great gear, and I stand behind it. The new Black Hole 25 liter has a new material, so it still has that PU coating on it, making it weatherproof. I wouldn't call it it's waterproof, but I would not submerge it waterproof. It's not a dry bag, but it's good enough for snow and light rain. Yeah, the Black Hole 25, got the review up on that, and then I gave that to my buddy Damien. Cool Accelerator shirt. It's their new ultralight shirt. It's cool. It's great. It's cool. Then Costa mainsail sunglasses. Devin, we got Devin hooked up this last couple months, and she is cranking out some awesome content. She's such an awesome person. She needed some sunglasses, so we were like, hey, Costa, let's get Devin some shades. And they sent over the mainsail, which is our new sunglass. It's a unisex sunglass. And they look good on her, so we got her on those, and she did a fun video on those. Starlink, the travel case. I've had this for like a year, and I just figured I should shoot a video on how it works because nobody else seems to have a video on it. It's just a hard case for the Starlink, the mobile satellite system, and it works really well. The new Gregory Zulu 30 backpack. Probably my favorite backpack at the moment, and I might change to have some stuff from Mystery Ranch to test out once I can get cleared to go hiking again. But the Zulu 30 carries weight just flipping awesome. It's just a really cool trampoline suspension, great hip belt, great layout. It's really comfortable. I really liked it. So I got a review up on that. Allbirds. We love Allbirds. There's gonna be a lot of Allbirds. We've done all the shoes for Allbirds, I thought, and then they came out with new ones, so we got those coming up. I did Allbirds Tree Runner versus Wool Runner versus Tree Dasher versus all the things, just a comparison on sizing, heel stack, and all that. That was kind of fun to do. This is super cool. Manfrotto. If you're a camera person and you saw the cameras 5 minutes ago, you're probably a camera person. Manfrotto is like, that's the bee's knees of camera equipment. Manfrotto tripods, Manfrotto backpacks, Manfrotto this, Manfrotto that. They were shot together, and they sent over the Pro Light Flex Loader backpack, which has been really awesome. I really like it. It's a full function, full on 40-45 liter camera backpack, waterproof, lightweight, camera cube built into it, really cool. So I did a review on that, and then I was curious how it compared to the Nomadic Peter McKinnon backpack, which would be a very similar category, as well as a Peak Design Travel 45. So I did a comparison between the three. That's a big video, walking you through the features and functions. Back to Patagonia, the untracked bibs. So these aren't out yet, so don't try and go click and buy them. But they sent them over for me to use this season. They sent over the untracked and the other one. I'll come back to it. But this video is on the untracked, which is going to be the brand new EPE Gore-Tex, which we had Gore-Tex on the podcast about 6 months ago. Taught by this technology, as well as we've tested, I think, 3 things now for Gore-Tex with this new EPE membrane, which is basically, and they got mad when I said this in the video, but this is true. It's a more eco-friendly, even lighter weight Gore-Tex. And this is going to be a 3-layer. So this will be their Pro Shell, both EPE, and it's in the untracked bibs. And they're minimalist, they're burly. It's like the Pow Slayer, but with the EPE. It's good stuff. Nanook cases. We use Nanook cases. I can't pull one out here, but I've got like 6 right in front of me for our gear. They're waterproof, made in Canada. Awesome stuff. Sidebar. My truck was broken into this weekend, and a few Nanook cases removed, as well as my drone and some camera gear. That sucked. But yeah, Nanook cases. They're not theft-proof, but they are waterproof and shock-proof and great for travel and camera gear. They're legit, so I did a video on those. I mentioned microphones. So I'm using a Rode Wireless Go right now. We use a DJI all the time. So a lot of manufacturers keep reaching out to us to test them, comparing the DJI to the Rode to their microphone. So one of those was the Synco G2A2 Pro. And we're the first people we have a video up on it in the world. I don't even know if it's out yet. It might be out yet. Basically, to try and compete with them, with Rode and DJI. It's a bigger system, but it comes with lavalier microphones, and it's got really good audio and good distance. I used it through many walls. So if you're doing a seminar or something, it's good value, good microphone for the money. Lowepro. So Manfrotto and Lowepro, I think the same parent company, they reached out to work on this little itty bitty hiking camera backpack. And again, Lowepro, if you know, it's like Peak Design, it's Manfrotto, Nomadic, we mentioned Nomadic, Lowepro and Manfrotto. Yeah, those are the big guys. Those are the camera companies you want to work with. So we work with them now. they reached out to work with us, which is great. There we go. It's the Patagonia Snowdrifter is what I was trying to get to. The Snowdrifter is going to be the H2No proprietary Patagonia's own waterproof breathable membrane, and I put that against the untracked bibs. So you can see, like, you know, which one might be right for you and your uses. Oh yeah, catching up here. We're getting close. Gordini, you know, they make gloves and mittens, and our colleague, fellow Engearment rider, and just all-around badass splitboarder and environmentalist, Raphael Peace, who works with Gordini. He actually designed his own gloves. I don't know if I can mention that yet. I guess I just did. He designed his own gloves, and we'll have a review on those once we get some snow again in a few months. Yeah, Gordini is now making socks, and so we have some prototypes over there we've been testing out. Oh, this is fun. So Hyperice and Normatec, they're recovery fitness devices, and we worked with Hyperice 2016 to review their very first Hypervolt percussive massage gun. And I got to bring in some of my friends from StrongFirst who are other fitness professionals and get their take on it and use it. So they reached out to work together, and I was like, hey, I got a really fun angle. I'm about to have a big old surgery, and I could use some help with recovery. What do you recommend for, you know, I'm going to go have foot surgery. What do you think we should use? So I sent over the Hyperice X, which is this really cool contrast device, hot and cold, and it goes over your knee. And why the knee? I had foot surgery. Well, when your gait changes, your not just the foot hurts, but the knees hurt, the hips hurt, the back hurts, because everything's out of whack. So I need all the help I can get. So the Hyperice X was cool, literally. It has these 5 fans built into it, and it cools down to 32 degrees without any water, without any ice, and then it'll go up to 110, 115 degrees, like 10 seconds later. It's really cool contrast therapy. Got a review up on that, as well as the Normatec Go recovery sleeves. Is a massaging compression sleeve that goes in the calves, although I use it on my quads as well. They don't say to do that, but I did it, and it helped me especially when I couldn't move for 4 days straight. Helped me to circulate the lymph and blood in the lower extremities. And then oh my gosh, are we almost caught up? I think we're almost caught up. Yesterday, Bubba Goose Design, it's a X-Pack material. It's like this really durable, like almost Kevlar material, hand sewn in here in America, vet friendly, vet company, duffel bags. I sent over one of those, and I've been using that to carry more gear to go test, honestly, is what I've been using it for. And then as of today, Will Rickards put up a video from Outdoor Research on the ultimate spring skiing setup. So he's got just head-to-toe Outdoor Research, which we love. Outdoor Research. It's such functional, good quality clothing for a very fair price, often less than Patagonia and Arc'teryx and North Face and stuff, but just pro level. Like, for example, when I was doing my ARI level 1s and 2s and companion rescues, ARI, American Institute of Avalanche Education, or Avalanche Resource Education, probably messed that up, but ARI, that's who you go through in America for information and education on avalanche safety. Okay, so a little background there. Most of the time, the guys are wearing Outdoor Research, if not Patagonia. So it's just Outdoor Research. It's good, really good stuff, especially for the money. I got some things coming up that I can't tell you that will populate later. I think that's enough stuff. That's over 20 minutes. All right, so we covered a lot. A lot of reviews, a lot of great riders. Other riders doing fun stuff real quick. Derek Toshner, awesome mentor, great friend, great guy. We'll be doing an all-terrain conditioning course at our gym, but currently he's preparing to go to Denali here any day now. So keep up with him on Facebook and Instagram. He's doing reviews on some really cool stuff. He did a review on a face mask to block out the sun when he gets up there way up in the Alpine. So he'll have more information on that. He's testing out some stuff for MSR, Thermarest, Outdoor Research, I think a few other companies. So a lot to come out of Derek here when he gets back from his big Denali trip. I think he gets back and then he goes and does the Grand Teton like twice in a week or something. He's just a beast of a man. So check him out. Check out Jay Irwin and his progress in the Guinness Book World Records for the 50 highest peaks. like I mentioned, stay tuned. Devin and I are going to go to the big gear show here tomorrow and the rest of the week, and we'll have a lot of interviews to share with you on that. Ryan Humphreys has a bunch of articles coming up on some cool stuff. Dan Jimenez as well. Just a bunch going on. Hopefully this is helpful to catch you up to speed. I'm so glad I have my voice back so I can share with you how exciting the things are over here. And thanks for bearing with me through the broken foot the last 3 months, 4 months, and the surgery and all that. And thanks for all the people who reach out for support on that too. That means a lot. Yeah, a lot to look forward to, a lot coming up. Hopefully this is helpful. If you want to learn more, you can always check out our Engearment YouTube channel or Engearment.com website to see what everybody's up to. There's a lot going on. Sean Sewell, owner and director of Stoke for Engearment. Until next time, take care.